Good morning and welcome, my friend. Namaste. Such a pleasure to be here with you. My name is Christopher Witecki. I am the sensei to Sirius Joy. I'm here to stand in my heart and walk in the light each day. Such a pleasure to light walk with you. I am love casting live in 5 dimensions on this beautiful watery temple of Gaia on Wednesday, February 25th, 2015. And today I've been using this water theme all week because we have moved into Pisces, and Pisces is our subconscious, the subconscious part of the human being. And so we have been underwater and kind of not being able to be clear on these themes. But today we're not only on top of the water, I think we are in a water sport. We're able to play with the water, use emotion, connect to it, and give and receive. That's because Step 6 rules the day. Step 6 is the step where we start to open up to connection, to balance and harmony for one. Because it's Pisces, it'll be connection to God consciousness and spirit and our own soul, that which brings balance and harmony to us, probably because our soul will lighten the load, thereby allowing us to leave, to release energy on the other heavy side. So by accepting and receiving what we need today, we're able to lighten our loads, we're able to open back up, and we're able to feel at peace. So it's a day of healing, it's a restoration of balance, and in each person's soul story, it's probably the point where partnership comes, or help comes, or someone who's compassionate to your story. And of course, we want to be compassionate to theirs. But before we talk about all of that good stuff, let's first tame our brain, shall we? With the phrase of the day. I am prepared to give, and I am ready to receive, and so it is. And my inner child gets excited on these days because I know there's a present for me. Now, the truth is there's a present in every one of my days. I planned it like that in my inner child. I said, I want a present every day in life. Please. Now I'm like, gratitude. I'm learning like the little difference. But the truth is, we all have a gift to give on earth. All of us, every soul has a gift to give. It's kind of built into the soul experience. And every heart knows what that gift is. It may be astrology, tap dancing, but it's a gift, and you are prepared to give it, and you're always prepared to give it, and you love to give it. So it's not even a sacrifice, right? That gift is what you are prepared to give today, the gift of who you are, being who you are, and standing in that truth. That is being prepared to give who I am and what I give. And to me, the whole world in marketplace is like we're walking around and it's just tons of people, and they're all vendors of one sort or not. They all have some sort of talent that they give. And I know what I can offer once I walk up to them. You know what I mean? It's always astrological something. So today I'm prepared to give and I am ready to receive. That's the other important part. A lot of my clients who are, let's say, starving in life, starving for a relationship, starving for money, feel like they're starving, feel like they're not ever getting enough, feel like they're always on top of the water, and it's always at that mark. Those people usually are not good at receiving. Not good at actually receiving. So those are the people that when they are drowning, you're like, hey, I'll help you. They're like, no, I got it. It's just like, okay, And I've learned that from being that person who will just rather drown, So the truth is that a lot of us are uncomfortable receiving. We're uncomfortable receiving because we are not in power in that moment. We're handing it over to the universe. We're bowing our heads in grace as we receive. But in the nature of giving and receiving on earth, it's you're robbing the system if you don't give, and you're robbing the system if you don't receive. Both are true. So today, practice both. I'm prepared to give and I'm ready to receive, and so it is. I thought so. Step 6, Pisces. 7 days now into the Pisces transit, truly, if you count step 0, the hidden step. The architecture of incarnation is as follows. The 6 vibrates in 3 dimensions, as everything is in 3 dimensions. And the truth is as the sun is in this lower first dimension of the transit, or first decan of the transit, we are practicing on the nature of giving and receiving in simple principles. And that's where our focus is. However, If you've been around the block once, you are already aware of step 16. Your soul is aware of step 26. And that's what this whole step astrology is about, being conscious of all the steps. If you know all the steps, you are hyper aware of your reality. You have reached enlightenment, and you can instruct each one of these little points in your consciousness in the direction you think it needs to point. You know what I mean? So today we are actually at the bottom. When you address the giving, receiving at the bottom of your consciousness, here at the simple first dimension, then the second and third dimension are based on that truth. So this is what I call the root intention. Or it can be the original sin. In fact, original sin is just this, as far as how I understand it from conversations with God that I'm reading, is that if this first dimension has the wrong intention in it, it ends up being, creating a mistake in a mistake, and that's why it's the original sin. So today we are creating the original correction, or the original balance. And so based on the balance of giving and receiving today, we'll calibrate step 16, which is the ability to open up to giving and receiving with God. That's when it equals a 7. And then step 26, when giving and receiving is your determination as to whether or not you open or close altogether and commit or don't commit. So giving and receiving is super important, plays a strong role as we climb up the consciousness of Pisces. So let's take a look now at the chakras and colors involved. So we are in Pisces. That is the crown, opening the crown right now, which is 7. Pisces, Neptune, you name it, right? Now when we open up giving and receiving, it's actually a throat chakra thing. As I'm joking up, it's a throat chakra thing. But it is a throat chakra thing. We, use voice and word to basically create. And word is very important as far as creating little Tupperware dishes around our creations. Now, yellow, the third chakra, thoughts and feelings. Okay, now thoughts and feelings are super important. You want to calibrate those and think through your feelings and make sure you feel good before you leave the day, because if you are in touch with your thoughts and feelings, then you can give and receive so much easier. Because a lot of people who are not in touch with their thoughts and feelings are giving and receiving to restore that instead of what their soul is looking for at that moment. Be sure to ground yourself, because we're in the crown. You gotta ground. We gotta somehow ground. Make sure to have your Wheaties or whatever it is organically these days, and ground, and make sure you do some breath work. And of course, clear the windshield. Have no expectations of the future. Accept and receive. It's okay, and allow. That sums it up, right? Let's now move on to the timing of things with the cosmic clock. And here we are in the cosmic clock, the timing of things. So, first of all, the sun is at step 6 of Pisces. So, when we're in Pisces, we're literally kind of climbing the stairway to heaven. Literally, Pisces is our ability to connect to everything that is not material in this life. So, we all have a conscious portal in us that allows us to open up to the God reality. Now, whether or not we listen, reach through, or exchange is up to us. But all of us are getting an upgrade as the sun crosses over Neptune here. We're all going to get faster light network speeds. It's great. This is much better than Verizon or anything else you can get out there. So we are going up, 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 and we haven't had this sort of upgrade since the late 1800s, to be honest with you. So we've been kind of psychically at a certain level, at least according to the astrology, because Neptune, the home planet, is back home in Pisces. Now, our sun, the heart, our hearts are going to go past this kind of Neptune stream here in the next few days. And really tomorrow is when it hits full stream. And when it does, we are going to be fully attuned. So today we are opening up to sort of that attunement. This might mean that you're releasing, I'm having crazy dreams. You know those dreams that you've had your whole life? Those weird dreams, the ones that affect you all day. All day you're in that, you're like, in that funk. I've been having those dreams, man. That's what Neptune's doing to me. And so it's fascinating, but also, you can't go like, we're here again. And now I'm starting to think, I think this is just I understand a lot of the dreams, but I think now those dreams indicate a certain marker of consciousness shift at large. So think about that when you go to sleep. Now, Mercury is at step 10, so we are manifesting belonging. So as we're climbing up the God consciousness and the stairway of heaven, so to speak, we are actually manifesting our place on Earth. So we're kind of taking advantage of, you look at the synergy of this, it's really amazing. Sure, Mercury retrograded and went back for a while, but once it went forward, it was going forward in Aquarius back at the beginning. So as we climb the stairway to heaven, get a higher view of what's really going on, we can tell our smartass, our mind, to change direction. The king didn't get it right. You know what I mean? So there's this ability to kind of change your life. And right now we are manifesting that ability. Now, the witches are having tea, and Black Moon Lilith is now at step 18, Virgo. This is the point, in my opinion, where, in essence, we have to decide, do we believe our fears are going to become true or not? If you don't see evidence of it, it's time to not worry until there is evidence of it. And this is where we walk by our shadow. So a lot of us are walking by a shadow. And, the master way is not to conflict with it. The master way is not to ignore it. The master way is to simply look another way and go. That's it. You simply stop creating that way. And it's a master path. I'm not saying it's easy. One thing is you don't listen to the witches as you pass. Now, this is really where there's a tug of war today. The moon in Gemini is opposing Saturn. So what this means in the moon opposition is that we emotionally have this tug of war between our feelings and our thoughts mixed together with the moon in Gemini, and our beliefs, which at the top with Saturn there are fragile. They're fragile because Saturn's at step 4, okay? And step 4 is basically where eventually our video game is going to time out. Video game timing out means that, well, something you believed in, something you thought would work, like a religion or being in a certain neighborhood or being on a certain academic program or all sorts of, these things, was in fact not the right way to go. Now, this is probably not the first time you've thought this, but today, that moon at the bottom, swinging like a pendulum underneath the Saturn belief structure, this is the first of many, in my opinion, little shock waves, let's say, to a crusty old way of believing. So, be open. Be open. If you believe in happiness and you're not happy, then be open. All right, so climbing the conscious ladder, the sun is just one step away from the mothership of light, truly, which is Neptune. That's the modem that logs our solar system into the whole system. And so you can see Gemini is logged in. So as soon as we do this crossing here, we're going to emotionally, basically translate immediately into the nervous system what we're feeling. That's what, Gemini does, is it translates super well. So basically our emotions have a little note taker right there with us. And what are we note taking? Well, for one, we're note taking that we want to open up to giving and receiving. Where were we giving and where are we receiving, and are we enjoying that, and are we receiving it? Are we receiving it, which means, you give it that If you don't give it the it doesn't count. I mean, it doesn't hit your soul. It doesn't vibrate. It doesn't convince your soul that the thirst is over. So definitely listen and receive today. Now, tomorrow it's step 7. Step 7 is the sun conjuncting Neptune, and this is the alignment that kind of works many ways. For one, if people are on the edge of their spirituality, this is where you're like, hallelujah. You hit some sort of note. For people who have been totally lost completely, this is when, Mary appears in a statue or something really incredible kind of happens. And I'm not saying that Mary doesn't appear for people who are hallelujahing. I'm just saying that everyone gets reached, and the vibration I find. Sometimes it's a friend, sometimes it's you listening right now, that you will reach out to someone tomorrow, and you don't have to plan it. It'll come right in at the right moment. So if something comes in your way and you have the ability to light walk, definitely that is a God service day tomorrow. And you'll find that's where, you can give your gift, right? So be prepared to give gifts today and tomorrow in that sense, right? All right, so at the top, Mars is at step 4 Aries, and that means that we have quantum breakthrough and ego. So the ego, the old ego, is at the same time sort of breaking down, which is at the same time of the Black Lilith. Okay, let's pay or play. Do we really believe in these shadows, or not? What's the deal with that, so to speak? And at the same time, we are opening up to giving and receiving. So it's kind of obvious old things will have to die. And Venus is actually above this chart in step 6. So Venus, which is the goddess of 6, is at step 6, purebred, in fertile Myrtle Aries. Okay, so as Mars is breaking down and redigesting the old ego, Venus is already pregnant with the new baby at the top. So that means that we have a new ego that is brewing underneath the surface here, and we are at the same time letting an old ego die. And how do we let an old ego die? We simply walk another way, and we don't entertain that anymore. That's how we do it, in my opinion. And trust me, the ego part has been really hard. So now let's look at a little special treat. I have something for you today in the Sensei Sunrise. So today I thought it would be really fun, since it's a good day of giving and receiving, and we're all going to feel good today, to do my favorite Pisces. We did this in Aquarius, and it really worked out well, looking at certain Pisces that are my personal favorite. This is my own heart's list of personal favorites and their step numbers, because I think a lot of times you can look at a celebrity, you can look at someone in history, and look at their step number and their astrology. You can see right away some of these subconscious and conscious themes we're talking about, or I'm teaching about. So first we start with my absolute favorite Pisces of all time. Can you guess who that might be? George Washington. Now, there's a lot of debate about if he's a Pisces or an Aquarius, because he was born in the woods and he was born in the winter and yada, yada, yada. But the more I start to understand this man, the more I believe that this date is correct. And he is a step 2 Pisces. One of the things that makes me believe we have the correct birthday is that step 2 is an emotional Pisces. And from what I understand, this man wrote ranting letters to Congress and was very emotional and moody. So, but brilliant. I'll tell you why. Because this man set the precedent of power and standing down from it, giving up it, leaving it to the next generation to decide. And, not many men have followed in his footsteps. I'll tell you, the CEOs of big corporations like Rupert Murdoch and Viacom and all that sort of thing, they refuse to step down, and they're dying, and they have no other life, and yada, yada, yada. This man here knew in the 1700s that it was the right way for all of us to do better. And I think the right way for all of us to do is the Pisces part of him, his God-knowing truths inside of him. And I think his God-knowing truths are what led him and our entire, what we call the United States. We owe it to this man. I mean, forget the first 2 terms of presidency. We had nobody to organize an army at all. Nobody. Like, it came down to this person. Wanda Sykes, she's also one of my favorites. I love her. She's so funny and spiritually driven, as you can see. A God service provider. You see that 6 in the step 16? She easily gives and receives with God. And that's where a lot of comedy comes, right out of the sky, let me tell you. Very cool Pisces, God service provider, and also, to this day, opening people's hearts and minds to new ideas. Steve Jobs, may he reincarnate in peace, was a step 5 Pisces. So I've talked about it before. The step 5s have this ability to wrap intellect around spiritual connections. So these are creative geniuses. These are usually intellectual geniuses more than creative, but creative intellectuals right in that same line. And he indeed, one of my favorite Pisces, did some amazing stuff on Earth. Albert Einstein, here we go, a step 23. So anything in the 20s is a master. right? And he was 23. 2 plus 3 makes 5. There's that 5 coming in again, the mind wrapping around. Basically, his mind wrapped around his feelings, step 2, and his beliefs working in constant stream together. And then his mind could wrap around those things. So it was that belief in a passionate stream and his Pisces ability, I think, to navigate the higher universe. So you see that in Mr. Einstein. Now check that out. Quincy Jones, also a step 23 Pisces, like Einstein. Now, Quincy Jones, if you know about his life, Einstein of music. Do you know how many of today's musicians have been under the wings of this person right here? And they say, you know, a real master is a teacher that puts out masters. And that is this Mr. Quincy Jones. So step 23, another master Pisces and a favorite of mine. And yet, Sir Michael Caine, also a step 23 Pisces, like Einstein as well, right? And this guy, I think his genius is staying employed. This man has been in more films than porno stars. Like, he has got the highest numbers in the world. And, you know, it's always Michael Caine, but there's always... But he's really emotionally brilliant. And, like, I don't ever get tired of this man. Ever. Ever. If he ever walks into a scene, he's absolutely welcome any day of the week. And I think it's that God consciousness, and I think his genius is connecting to people. Now, Sidney Poitier, the first African-American to receive an Oscar, and a genius, if you ever watch older films, brilliant actor. And he was a step 0 Pisces. I point him out too because step 0 is an interesting step. It means you have the ability to create a mirror. When you're step 0, you can create a mirror for others. And I think he absolutely did. I think he also could hide behind that mirror. I think also he could create the right image he wanted on that mirror. So he was more of a magical Pisces than usual. And then, oh my goddess, yes, it's true. It turns out Barbie is a step 18 Pisces. This comes from my research. I'm not kidding. The person who invented it, I don't have her name right here, Ruth Handler, she invented it on March 9th, 1953, and said this is her birthday. So Barbie is an action-based Pisces. And, you know, I got to say, that outfit right there alone, if you know any Pisces, that is totally a Pisces outfit at heart. So I think this is the real Pisces right here. This kind of what today would be known as a raver girl. But, like, I don't know, whatever she was then. But she's an image and whatnot. But images and consciousness are held together by the collective conscious, right? Interesting stuff. So in today's 11:11, if you're watched over by the Sirius Joy Network, I will text you at 11:11 a.m. your time, the secret to opening you up. That's right. Basically, the secret to your 6. And that's at 11:11. And then at 3:03 p.m. your local time, who's the boss of your lovin'? So, you know, we all have a bossy voice in our head that, like, tells us not to or keep the clothes on or not yet. Who's the boss of your lovin'? I can calculate that in your artificial intuition, and I'll send it to you at 3:03 p.m. By the way, if you'd like to try Sirius Joy for just 30 days, you can do it for just $19.95. Super, super affordable and super fun. Go to SiriusJoy.me to subscribe. You must subscribe by March 1st if you want to be involved in this next 30 days. And then once we have beta out, we'll be able to offer people to come on board anytime. So we're just being patient in Pisces and waiting. All right, we have a little break. And when I come back, the Zodiac weather and your rock and roll gospel after this. Introducing Secrets of Birthdays. Bow chicka bow wow. Are you ready to find love? Bow chicka bow wow. Your secrets are coming out. Bow chicka bow wow. All those sexy secrets are available at secretsofbirthdays.com. Bow chicka bow wow, baby. So garden. Welcome back to Namaste Today, and now on to the Rock and Roll Gospel. So there are so many Pisces to look at when it comes to great musicians who could channel God consciousness. And I realize I have been somewhat prejudged in my music in the sense that I've only been sharing music that I listen to, and that's just me getting all of what I need out. But in good research and also honest diligence, I have to admit that this musician here makes me feel old. His name is Justin Bieber. who is a step 10 Pisces and a fantastic manifester. Boy, this kid can manifest. I saw a video of him on YouTube when he was like 4, and he was turning pots and pans into like a reggae festival, and I swear to God, it was really good. This kid is channeling this stuff. He's channeling it from another life. Who knows if he's Jimi Hendrix or who he is, but he's definitely channeling. And the person we're seeing now is not who we'll see after he goes through his Saturn return. And I'm not saying that's good or bad. I'm just saying he's still unpacking these past life personalities, and the one he picks, or a new one, is kind of what it's about being a Pisces. So I've chosen a song that will help him with his newest album. It's All That Matters. It's basically him as of his latest age. So if you're into the Beebs, do enjoy, my friends, and tell me about it. But before you do, let's take a look at the moods of each of your brothers and sisters today, and I'll give you some assistance on that tug-of-war. What I mean by tug-of-war is our emotions and thoughts are one way, and Saturn, we're gripping on to the edge of some old belief structure, not wanting to let go, but maybe it will chip and fall away. So let's first start with the Scorpios. Scorpios, sunny with a chance of Randy. That means lock up your virgin daughters. That's because, you can see right here, they are caught between where the line is and what they believe about what's valuable anyways. Now, whatever is tempting you today, Scorpio, I'm just teasing you. It really is a knock on the door of what you believe is valuable. That's what might need to change. Step 1's the Leos, sunny and social today, but feeling social pressure versus their belief about what their heart says a celebrity is, or their belief about what their heart wants to shine about. So I'm torn there, and maybe you don't really believe that. Maybe you're just doing it to pose, to strike a pose, to quote the Leo Madonna. Step 2 is the Cancers, cloudy, introverted, and spiritual today. You are torn between your feelings of faith and your belief in life. So some of it is about believing in life for different reasons. Step 3 is the Sagittarius, sunny and romantic today. You're caught between romantic feelings, maybe for someone in the past, possible, and belief of who I am, but that's what may change, who you are. Maybe you have not been who you really are. Maybe you don't like who you are and want to be someone new. But that's what's cracking up here. Step 4, the Aquarius is sunny and creative today. They're caught between their heart's desires and their belief of their obligations. And it's your belief of obligation that is cracking, my friend. Step 5, the Geminis, sunny and cool with the moon in their own sign. Caught between ego, willpower, and their beliefs about relationship. Now it's your beliefs about relationship that will probably change. Step 6, the Librans, sunny and private, withdrawn today. Caught between their feelings and what they believe, so a lot of righteous passion and mental programming. So listen to those echoes. Pay attention to who's arguing back. Step 7's the Pisces. That high bell means happy birthday, by the way, now. I think we have to hit that Pisces note. Sunny, nesting, and resting today, but caught between feeling good and career beliefs. Beliefs about what? You have to be out there? What? You have to work that hard? What? Or maybe the belief that you can sit home and do nothing, and it's like, no, you do have to go to work. No, you do have to do something. Step 8's the Capricorn. Sunny and content, which is good in the Capricorn world. And caught between feelings in the now, like how you feel in the now, and your beliefs about faith. So your beliefs about faith, like maybe I can only believe or have faith when, it's like, well, who made up that criteria? Step 9, the Aries, sunny and pensive today. Caught between their emotional thoughts, so that's a whirlwind, and what they believe. And of course, in the purebred of what they are, definitely what you believe will be changing. You will not be in Kansas for very long, Aries. Taurus, step 10, sunny, nesting, and resting. That's my wish. Really manifesting. Gotta go to work, says the Taurus. Gotta pull the cart. Gotta go back to work. But we're caught between our projects, see, and our beliefs about where the line really should be. Yeah, where is the line? When do we get to go home? When's the lunch break? We need a union here because I'm a slave driver. Step 11, Virgo, sunny and professional today. Caught between feelings about the future and beliefs about what feelings ought to be. So it's like, oh, I feel murky about my future. Oh no, well wait, why is murky bad? So it's the philosophy around emotional response in that sense. So have fun with that. Just kidding. And let's move on to our Lightwalker Parade. If you're watching on YouTube, please be kind and do subscribe. I thank you ahead of time. And on Facebook, you can be our friend by navigating to soulgarden.me. And you can join it for our email list where I send out a little namaste greeting each morning during the night. And I have some exciting news. I am launching what I call Sirius Joy Camp. I'll have details in about 24 hours, but I'm going to start talking about a little bit every day so you don't be like, oh, this again. I'll just tell you a little bit each day, but it's going to be four different classes, so it's a pack of 4. And in those 4 classes, you'll be introduced to all of the steps of all of who you are. So you give us your time and date of birth, and then I coach you step 0 all the way through step 11, which makes you aware of all of how you tick, and it comes with a lot of anecdotes and jokes and surprises to help you be enlightened. And I've timed it as far as when it's going to start with the actual Stairway to Heaven and Birth of the New Ego that we're doing here in March. So I'll have more details tomorrow on that, but I want to start with that. Should be some serious joy fun. And I think in 4 classes, you will feel like you are ready to rock this summer. And with Jupiter direct in Leo, that's what it's going to be about, rocking it. Modern mommies did rock it themselves with GMO apples. If you don't know what GMO apples are, check it out. Trust the mommies. They're looking out for your children. And if you care to share, I've got these new little segments called Sensei Sunrise segments, and these are designed to share with a friend. I designed these to be able to, be shared with friends. So in other words, there's a whole bunch of little tiny, cute 7-minute soul solutions. And for you fellow light walkers out there, if you're trying to reach a friend and one of these little solutions will help them, this is not overwhelming their plate with all my wackiness and stuff and saying, here, this might help you. So if you care to share Soul Garden, you now have these little segments at your disposal. And I thank you for being a part of the garden and showing up each day to light walk with me. I will see you in 24 hours with more, my friend. Remember, I love you and live, love, be. This is just so ironic.